There isn't going to be a one-size-fits-all solution for everybody's skin because while we all have those same 3 layers, everyone's skin will react differently when introduced to different stressors, pollutants, or nutritional deficiencies, or even hormone imbalances. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Beauty Beneath podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about tips on how to grow your business and insights into the beauty industry. I'm your host, Andrea, and today we're going to be talking about the misinformation in the skincare industry. The myths are rampant, and I'm going to be presenting actual facts to make those myths go away and set the record straight. So let's dive into some common misconceptions and uncover the science. Now, in the age of social media, everyone is an expert on skincare and beauty and how our skin works. Let's take a step back and understand how our skin really works in basic terms. The basic skincare structure is made up of 3 levels. We have the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. The outermost layer that we can all see is the epidermis. This layer protects against environmental stressors and pollutants. The dermis, the middle layer, contains collagen and elastin for strength and elasticity. And the hypodermis provides cushioning and insulation. There are natural moisturizing factors, or NMF for short. And these NMFs help keep our hydration and moisture locked into our skin. However, harsh products and irritants can disrupt these NMFs, and that starts causing the problem. With that understanding of our skin, in the most basic terms, we can start to realize that there isn't going to be a one-size-fits-all solution for everybody's skin because while we all have those same 3 layers, everyone's skin will react differently when introduced to different stressors, pollutants, or nutritional deficiencies, or even hormone imbalances. Some skin types are going to be oily, combination, sensitive, overly dry, acne prone. So we really need to look at each individual skin type and from there evaluate what's going to be best for that particular skin type. This is why professionals like dermatologists and cosmetic chemists are so important. They have spent the time studying skin types and understanding the biology behind it and how skin types will react to different products and which ingredients are going to help that skin type come back from whatever issue it's facing. So it's always best to turn to professionals and not social media when we're trying to understand what's going to be best for our particular skin. And now we've laid the groundwork to understanding what our skin is, again, in the most basic terms possible. It does go into much greater depth and you need to spend years of studying, but we're not going to do that right now. Right now, we're going to get into some common myths in the industry and set the record straight. Myth number 1, natural products are always better. This is often the case that natural is good for us, both in our nutrition and in our products. However, it is not an always the case type of scenario. There are times where synthetic materials are actually really appropriate. And on the flip side, natural ingredients can actually be harmful or irritating to our skin. So an example of this would be pure lemon essential oil. It is an all-natural ingredient. You can go out in nature and find this in its purest source. But if you were to apply that to your skin directly, a lot of skins would react adversely to that. It could create redness, tingling, and sensitization. That's not something that we're looking for when applying products to our skin. So while the inclination is to always go for the natural products, and that should be where we most often want to focus on, it's not that natural products will always trump synthetic products. There are a lot of synthetic ingredients that are actually beneficial for us, and we'll get into that a little later. Myth number 2, you don't need sunscreen on cloudy days. This is one of the biggest myths that we're really passionate about because as an OTC manufacturer who creates sunscreens almost on the weekly, we're very, very big believers in the importance of sunscreen. It's actually scientifically proven that UVA rays can pass through glass and window panes, and 80% of UV rays pass through clouds. So when it's an overcast day and you feel like there isn't much sun out there, do not be fooled. You still need sunscreen. Sunscreen is your year-round best friend. Think of it as your best investment for your skin's future. Myth number 3, expensive products are always better. The reality is that high cost often reflects marketing and packaging and not always what's in the bottle or jar. A lot of times you can find really high quality products at a lower cost somewhere like your drugstore. Creams with ceramides and peptides are going to be really beneficial for you and don't necessarily need to cost hundreds of dollars. There are fragrance-free cleansers that could perform just as well as those luxurious products. So try to focus more on the ingredients on the back label and less so on the price point. It's also good to look for key ingredients when you're evaluating products like hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and retinol. Myth number 4, pores open and close. The reality is that pores are not a muscle and they don't expand or shrink. They can just look smaller when cleansed through properly or look bigger when clogged. Think of pores as windows. They could be clear or smudged, but they don't actually expand or shrink. Myth number 5, oily skin doesn't need moisturizer. This couldn't be further from the truth. If you are going to deplete your skin of any oil topically, your skin is going to work overtime to produce oil, which can only exacerbate oily skin, combination skin, and acne-prone skin and make it so much worse for you. A little oil can be introduced to oily skin to help keep the skin calm and not feel like it needs to go into overdrive for more oil production. Always opt for lightweight, non-comedogenic moisturizers and understand that the hydration of your skin is going to be essential to keep your skin from overproducing and overcompensating. So think balance, not elimination. Myth number 6, toothpaste works on pimples. I actually haven't heard this one in a while and not sure that this is still a myth. I feel like we've grown from this, but for anyone out there who does think that toothpaste works on pimples, the reality is that it can, however, not with a lot of burning, drying the skin, and potentially damaging the surrounding skin. It's better to opt for products with salicylic acid or products that are targeted for acne and leave your toothpaste for your teeth. Myth number 7, anti-aging products only work once you see wrinkles. False, so false. I think today we know more than ever that prevention is key. You want to start introducing good skincare regimens and good skin hygiene earlier on so that you prevent those wrinkles and fine lines in the future. It is far easier to prevent than to do the damage control. Starting with products like sunscreens and moisturizers in your early 20s will actually help build a better future for your skin, where you're not necessarily going to see as much damage and you're not going to need so much anti-aging because you've done the prep work. Myth number 8, you need to exfoliate daily. This is really untrue. You can actually cause more harm to your skin than not by over-exfoliating. You can create micro tears in your skin, which is never good. Exfoliating should be looked at as a luxury. Do it once, maybe twice a week, and that's that. Myth number 9, drinking water alone will help hydrate your skin. Now, while drinking water is very important, it is not the sole contributor for your skin's hydration. You also need a balanced diet with fats, and you need to introduce moisturizing products to your skin. It's an all-around effort. So what you ingest internally, what you put on topically, that is all going to contribute to your skin's hydration levels. So while you grab your water, don't forget to pair with a very rich moisturizer, especially if you have dry skin. Myth number 10, acne is caused by dirty skin. Okay, the reality is that while dirt can cause breakouts, acne is most often caused by bacteria, inflammation, clogged pores, and oil production. So it doesn't mean that acneic skin equals dirty. Sometimes there's an underlying issue, and sometimes we just need to be better about our skin hygiene and figure out what's working, what's not. Things like always making sure that we're using clean applicators when we're applying makeup, making sure that our pillowcase is cleansed regularly, making sure that our products are suitable for our skin. These are all things that are going to help, but also visiting a dermatologist and understanding what is the root cause of acne. Now, important for this myth is that a lot of times when we associate acne with dirty skin, we think that if we wash our skin enough, we're going to cure our acne. Overwashing could again lead to more damage. Overwashing can strip the skin of its natural oils and cause even more breakouts. So gentle cleansing is the best approach. Now, here are my 2 favorites that I've seen all over social media. Myth 11, slugging is good for everybody. If you don't know what that means, slugging is the practice of taking a very thick jelly, something like Aquaphor, and putting it on your skin, a thick layer of it, after you're done with your skincare routine at night. Now, while this can help lock in moisture, it actually is not suitable for all skin types. It's not ideal for acne prone skin or oily skin. So, use this trend with caution and make sure that it's actually appropriate for your skin. If you don't see good results, just don't do it. It means it's not for you. And last but not least, myth number 11: DIY skincare is just as effective as store bought products. This is an interesting one because while DIY products can be really beneficial and help keep you away from any harsh, synthetic, bad ingredients that we don't want in our products, the truth is that sometimes these can cause more irritation. I've seen things like lemon juice and baking sodas being incorporated into DIY home products, and the results are not favorable. These types of ingredients can actually harm the barrier of your skin rather than help. Formulations really matter when we're talking about skincare, and understanding our skin type and what our skin needs is also going to play a very big role. So use caution when looking at advice that you see on social media. Make sure you actually research the myths and find out the science behind them before you try any of these things and send your skin on a wild goose chase. Remember, things like cleansing, moisturizing, exfoliating, proper hydration, and good nutrition are always the best places to start when we set out to do good by our skin. You always want to find a cleanser that's going to gently cleanse your skin without stripping its natural oils. And if you have oily skin, you're going to look for something lightweight and possibly foaming. If you have very sensitive, very dry skin, you're going to look for a more gentle cleanser that is going to approach your skin with care. When choosing your moisturizer, look at the science behind barrier repair. Barrier repair involves replenishing the lipids that make up our skin and looking at ingredients like panthenol, ceramides, and hyaluronic acid to prevent dryness and sensitivity. When considering exfoliation, remember less is always more, and consider chemical exfoliants versus physical exfoliants. Talk to your dermatologist or to your esthetician to figure out what's going to be the best for your skin. There are good resources out there, so make some knowledgeable decisions. I hope that was interesting for you. If there are any other myths you'd like to debunk, please feel free to comment and let me know. It's important not to believe everything that we hear and to do our own research. It's even more important to take the time to understand our skin type and what our skin needs. Resources like the American Academy of Dermatology, PubMed, the Derm Review are great places to go if you really need to take a deep dive. But in short, skincare shouldn't feel overwhelming and confusing. By separating myth from fact, we can all make better, more informed decisions. If you like what you've heard here today, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Beauty Beneath Podcast, and on LinkedIn and YouTube at Soleil. Thank you for joining, and until next time, remember, it's not just skincare, it's a skin lifestyle.